Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Chris Sost, and I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Gig Economy Lounge. Today's topic is something that we should probably unite behind. I know that I personally don't hold the most popular views amongst rideshare drivers 95% of the time. However, I think that this one, we should be able to find some unity behind, which is the topic of today's episode is please, pretty please, read the terms of service for any, and I repeat, any app-based technology that you want to deploy in your rideshare business. I'm not going to go through all the names, but I did want to give a review for one that launched here or is launching. I don't know because I haven't signed up. But I did grab their terms of service, which is honestly what most drivers should use when making a decision on whether or not they want to do business with a company. A lot of us want to be, or most of us recognize that we are independent contractors. Well, guess what? It is your responsibility to read the terms of service, not go sign up, do whatever you want, and then complain that this or that is this way when you didn't read the terms of service from the get-go. Nor did you read the updates or the addendums when they came out. You just brushed them aside and kept driving like it didn't matter. So the company that I have their terms of service in front of me is a company called Call a Ride. It's also short. They have an acronym CAR, which I'm not going to lie, if you're going to be a new company, that's a pretty cool acronym to go by. It is a subscription-based company, so automatically I was weary right off the get-go. They like everybody else is advertising that you keep 100% of the fares. I will dive into that little caveat in a second. But, it seems great, even if it's 99 cents a day, because they advertise it costs you less than $1 a day. So let's just say it's 50 cents a day. Even if the subscription is between $15 and $30 a month, it seems great, right? You get to set your own rates, I believe. At least that's what they market. You keep 100% of the fares. People can book you in advance. They give you marketing materials. That last part should kind of scare the average rideshare driver that's not trying to build a rideshare business, because that means that the company is doing very little to bring on riders themselves, and they're going to depend heavily on, if not solely on, the drivers to bring in the riders. So I went down because most of their terms of service from the beginning is pretty standard for any, TNC that's operating. And then we get to the driver subscription part. It says, by licensing and subscribing to and supplying services as a driver on car technology, you represent, certify, warrant, pledge, acknowledge, and agree that, and it goes through the regular, terminology. Don't try to defraud the system, deceive, circumvent, or falsify or defraud riders, because your account will be put on hold if we suspect for any reason or at any time that you have committed fraudulent activity. We have the right to withhold any and all pertinent fares or other payments for the ride or rides that are in question. Pretty standard. You will see them utilize that anytime a rider complains to them. You will see them do the same thing that Uber does, which is take back the fare. I'm going to show you just how similar or exactly the same they are to Uber and Lyft, except they're adding like one or two bells and whistles. You will not at any time for any reason participate in reckless behavior or actions while providing services. This is, once again, don't be stupid on their platform. You agree that CAR may gather information on you pertaining to the background check. Let's get down to the one thing that really stuck out to me, which is letter M and letter N. I want to address letter N first, because this one is the one that nobody will read, except a lot of people will get caught on. You agree to the use of a third-party telematic technology application supplied by CAR's insurance provider that will monitor your driving behavior. This software may score your driving behavior and inform CAR and CAR's insurance company of any unsafe or poor driving habits. Once again, these scores and the way they rate you is based on their judgment, not yours, not any independent party, but by insurance companies and the company. Car reserves in its sole right to terminate your account based on the findings of these reports without notice. So it's going to be up to the company. If they don't like the way, maybe you speed, maybe your riders like you to speed. I know down in Miami, Florida, if you are doing anywhere close to the speed limit on 95, you will die. Not literally, but very much figuratively. Like you can't go the speed limit. You can't even really do this like close to the speed limit. Like people and cops will run you off the road for doing so. So this is a very subjective term or caveat that they hold over the driver. Letter M. And this one, I find this one was like the aha moment for this company, for me. You agree to and understand that car imposes a service fee, a booking fee, and an insurance fee to the rider's final fares, which are in addition to your driver's fare, cancellation fees, damage fees, and any other adjustments made to any ride when the car card payment processing program is used. And this is where there was probably a huge asterisk next to drivers get 100% of the fare. And this is where a lot of drivers will come up short in utilizing this program, because I believe for the real entrepreneurs out there that are doing rideshare, the people that go above and beyond, I believe you'll be able to set your own rates and riders will be okay with paying more for their ride than they do for Uber and Lyft. The shitter is if you're like any, regular person out there, you're going to go, all right, whatever Uber and Lyft, charges for a ride, I'll charge that. Well, then the company comes behind and charges the rider so you got your driver fare, you get 100% of the driver fare, and then the rider is a charge additionally a service fee, a booking fee, and an insurance fee. What are those fees going to be? I don't know. I think the booking fee will be set. I think the insurance fee will be on a scaled model, because TNCs, the way they pay for insurance is they pay by mile. So I believe that the insurance fee will be a variable fee, and I believe the service fee will be a variable fee. All this really means is that they are absolutely no different than Uber and Lyft, because you as a driver receive 100% of the per mile rate that you agreed to, right? It's sort of like here. So if you turn around and say my rates are $1 per mile, you're going to receive $1 per mile. But the rider is still going to pay a much larger fee or fees in addition to that. So this is where I say that the average driver is going to get caught, because let's just say a ride from wherever you are to your airport is $30. I like round numbers. It could be $31.60. I don't give a shit. But let's just say you turn around and you charge the rider $30. That is your driver fare for that ride. Well, a company, in this instance, Call a Ride, will add a booking fee, an insurance fee, and a service fee. So that ride very well may cost that rider $38 to $40. Like I said, fees are going to be, they're going to vary. So think about that. What they used to pay on an Uber ride, $30, they now just paid $38 or $40 or whatever it ends up being. So they're paying more. So do they see the value in the system? Whereas, with Uber, they just open up the app, they request a ride, and whatever they're shown is what they pay. With these kind of situations or companies or systems being used, they will be shown the driver fare that they will agree to, and then they will be hit with subsequent fees afterwards. How many riders are going to be hip with that system? I don't know. Time is going to tell. But as a rideshare driver, we really need to read the terms of service. It's right on this website. You just go right down to the bottom. It says terms. You click on it and you can read through it. I beg rideshare drivers out there, before you go signing up for any type of hype, to read the terms of service. Don't look at the marketing materials. Don't listen to some fucking rep. Read the terms of service, the terms and conditions, whatever you want to call it, because therein lies the truth. You receive 100% of the fare. Asterisk mark, by the way, this company will charge the rider a booking fee, a service fee, and an insurance fee. So no, you don't receive 100% of the rider payment, which is what everybody is bitching and complaining about, with Uber, which is, we used to receive, 80% of the rider's payment. And then this company's going to allow us to keep 100%, and all we got to do is pay them $30 a month. Or some companies are charging $200 a month. Whatever they want to charge, doesn't matter. It's a gimmick. It is marketing 101. They are stacking their platforms with fees. Think about this for 1 second. Just think about this. If a company could thrive and scale on just a subscription model, do you really think Uber and Lyft wouldn't be doing it? Seriously, think about that. I know there's a lot of people out there that are pissed off. And you know what? It's better to be pissed off than pissed on. But in this instance, you have to ask yourself, no, like there's an age-old saying, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And I don't blame these companies for advertising things the way they do. A lot of them are MLM companies or MLM schemes. I get it. They are in it for the hype. The way they're going to make money is on the hype. So you know what? I can't blame those companies because quite honestly, they just don't care. They're just in it for the money. They're just in it to see how long they can run it until people catch on. So I can't blame these companies. And I'm not going to name the companies that are more, MLM than others. I just happened to find this company called Call a Ride. And I said, you know what? I would be doing a disservice if I didn't actually read the terms of service, and I came to a judgment before reading the terms of service. So I read their terms of service. I didn't get all the way through it, to be fair. I didn't get all the way through it. I got to rider payments. And then, they were breaking down the service fees and the booking fees and all the fees and the fees for the fees. And I just started thinking to myself, like, wow, all these companies did was take Uber and Lyft and repackage it and put a new color on it and put a new name on it. And they're just looking to capitalize off of essentially all the investments that Uber and Lyft have made over the past 9 years. That's all these companies are doing. They're just piggybacking. They're just fucking riding coattails, hoping that their marketing schemes work and that, it generates enough revenue to at least pay off the early investors, however much that was. And, if they can walk away with $1 million or $2 million, then, it was a success. If any of these companies, go belly up, all they're looking to do is recoup whatever they put into it and maybe bring in a little bit more on top of it. But as rideshare drivers, you really do need to read. I see a lot of things, where people are quote unquote not being treated like independent contractors. And I've also heard that the saying that, that the customers, the riders are the driver's customers if it were a networking system. And I found that to be complete and utter horseshit, because when you conduct e-commerce on Facebook, not by like just selling things, as an individual, but literally setting up a legitimate e-commerce business on Facebook, Facebook retains the rights to the users. Not you. I mean, you get to have them. I mean, if they buy your products or whatever, if they give you their information, that they're yours. But Facebook retains the rights and owns the users to Facebook, which all it is a digital network. So you can translate that into a TNC, which is a transportation network company. Uber retains the rights to all users on the platform. It doesn't matter who is actually, facilitating services. It doesn't matter. When an end user, when a rider signs up, they're signing up with Uber. They're not signing up with Joe Smith, the driver, or Sally Smith, the next driver. You know what I mean? Like, it's Uber owns those users, not the drivers. It doesn't make them a transportation company simply because they are their customers. It's their customers because of how many different ways these folks are starting to utilize Uber technologies. In a lot of cities, they're renting bikes or scooters. They're ordering Uber Eats. They're taking rides and any of the other services that Uber is planning on rolling out. That's why they're Uber's customers. They're not the contractors. They're not yours. When they request a ride, they don't get you. They just get somebody, whoever's close enough. Whoever's going to get there the fastest, that's who they get. So please, as a rideshare driver, read the terms of service before signing up for any of these new programs, any of these new companies. Because I can promise you one thing. If it's too good to be true, or if it sounds too good to be true, then it is. Whenever somebody's promising you 100% of the fares, low monthly subscription fee, there's a gimmick somewhere. Don't know where, usually lies within the terms of service. That's where all the details lie. The terms of service isn't written by the marketing department, folks. The terms of service is written by the legal department. Legal writes the terms of service. Marketing just paints a beautiful picture to maximize the conversion rate of ads and any other marketing material that's published. So I hope that this helps folks that are out there that are looking for other options during these days. I know there's a ton of companies that are popping up all over the place. I mean, it's honestly, if I didn't have something else going on, I might do the same thing. I mean, as a true blue capitalist, there's a ton of money to be made on disenfranchised rideshare drivers right now, and these companies are just eating it up. So please do yourself a favor and just read the terms of service before you go getting involved with any of the new companies that are coming about. Like I said, I don't want to point out any other names because I really just don't want to give them, FaceTime or anything like that, or listen time or whatever the hell you would call this. But since I really read the terms of service on this particular company, I feel comfortable putting out the name of this company. And you can go to their website and go down to the bottom and read the terms of service just like I did. It's not like I made anything up. I read it directly from their website. So thank you guys for listening. If you found any value, like, subscribe, share, any of that good stuff. If you hated the episode, give it a thumbs down. Tell me to go fuck myself. All good. Thank you again. Have a great one.